Good morning. Welcome to Hot Mess Express. So I haven't posted one of these videos in a few weeks. And the reason why is because I was still processing a lot of things that have been happening over the last 5 weeks. About 3 weeks ago, my therapist wanted me to start going to the military sexual trauma groups in person, where I would meet others in the military that also experienced the same. Around the same time, that same week, I heard about my church having a similar group called Women at the Well, and it was for women in our community that have had sexual trauma. And that was on Wednesday. The military sexual trauma is on Thursday. So literally, it was back to back therapy and then back to back groups for 2 days. And on the Friday, just listening to other women and their experiences. And I hate doing comparisons, but I literally felt not alone, and realizing that the same shame and embarrassment, just not being able to cope with a trauma of a sexual nature, especially when it happens when you're a kid, does trickle over into your adult life. When you have repeated events over time, it's going to impact you. Triggers exist, but it's really important to have a community and knowing that you're not alone. What you're feeling is normal and natural. After I was able to connect, my therapist really wants me to get into my inner child and just be the parent for that inner child, because I didn't have the right caregivers at the time for the things that were happening for me. So one of the things that I felt works for me is, yes, praying to God, because through all the healing modalities that I've tried throughout my whole life, they work. They're great. My therapist says they're great coping mechanisms and great that I intuitively know them and been trained on them. But the key here is that I never loved and prayed to God the way I am now with my re-healing journey. In fact, I'll say that I was very angry at God. And I think incorporating, I go to church on Sunday, I have a women's Bible group on Monday, I go to the Women of the Well on a Wednesday, my therapist during the week, and then I have multiple calls that re-emphasize the healing modalities that I've already learned through other doctors in psychology. My therapist says that I'm a big joy for her, because a lot of the things she's going through with the EMDR, they're sister science, if you will, to a lot of the modalities that I do as a coach. She says that she really enjoys working with me as her patient client, because I'm very eager to learn and immediately apply these to my life. I'm not like, yeah, I'm not resistant. I'm really leaning forward, and she just sees the pain that I'm going through, but also the amazing growth that I'm going through. And I'm now starting to identify areas in my adult life. Okay, so here's what I think is pretty amazing. When I went to my first Women of the Well group, I met two women that shared their story, and it really impacted me to help me open the wound that I have inside that I've been hiding. Like, it's been a fact that I've told people that I was molested by my pastor when I was 12 years old. That's it. No deep dive, nothing. Nobody's ever asked. I was able to tell a few friends about the details of what this man did for me for a whole year, and then to my therapist. And I told her that I wanted to forgive him, and she doesn't want me to. She wants me to get in touch with my anger. My military sexual trauma group, the first one that I went to, we talked about the stages of grief. Anger showed up for a lot of people, and I've gotten in touch with my anger, but I usually I do something productive with the anger. I don't destroy things. I don't get like angry or yell, but I usually just flip the switch and very easily and say, okay, let's clean. Mostly when I'm having a triggering moment, I actually get sad and I just want to cry. And that's how it comes out, because I'm frustrated, I'm deeply hurt, and it just comes out emotionally as tears. And that does kind of keep me in a level 1 energy, the very lowest. The most recent military assault, when I went to CID, criminal investigation, they asked me what I was wearing on a military business trip. I'm 47 years old. They asked me what I was wearing, business casual, as if what I'm wearing is going to ask for it. It's very insulting, but it feels really good to have God as the foundation of how I'm healing this time. It still feels really good to have my core group of people and an expanding support group with professionals. And as crazy and horrible as this sounds, it's happening for a reason. So doubt and fears come because it's like your skeletons in your closet. We'll call them gremlins. Let's call them demons, or let's even call it the devil, right? Last few nights, I've been feeling like the devil's been really at play with me, and I start doubting myself. I start fearing and questioning, and I stop and I just pray, and I just ask for strength. Make this stop. Help me see clearer.